Welcome to our third class as regard to chapter 5, alternative ideas and initiatives. This is our third and final class with regard to this chapter, chapter 5. In our previous classes, we did cover the development of printing press in Bengal, development of science and technical education in Bengal, and in our today's class we will be discussing about critique of colonial ideas regarding educations. So, this third topic is again divided into subdivisions, that is criticism of colonial system of educations, that is what were the defects and what were the problems in the educational system of Western educational system, and role of Rabindranath Tagore and his ideas regarding education and what should form of education should be imparted to the students and all. Next is Shantiniketan, its what was the role, what was the how it came into being, Shantiniketan, and Vishwa Bharati, and finally we will be discussing about the Rabindranath Tagore's view with regard to fusion of man, nature and education. So, we will go to the first one, criticism of colonial system of educations. So, if you will go to the again the other teachers, especially Sri Ramesh sir had already covered this how the educational system have evolved from the 1813 charter itself. We have discussed in detail about that. Please refer to that episode or class. Then if you have missed that, then you can again view that. So, the educational pattern that was introduced by the Britishers, that is existing educational system during the British rule in India was of the colonial nature. That is, it was colonial nature means it was not an indigenous system of education. It was devised in order to fulfill the requirements of the Britishers. Britisher को के त्यो requirements त्यो आधारले उहाँहरूले यो educational system लाई devise गरेको थियो. That is, it's not for the solely for the betterment of the people, it's for their own requirements. So, the educational system during the British rule was of the colonial nature, that is for their own requirement. The system was, educational pattern was devised. Secondly, the colonial education was imported through the English language, which was alien to the child, Indian child. That is, educational system was imported, the pattern in which it was formed, the syllabus, the curriculum, all were imported from England. So, that was again taught in English, that was totally alien to a Indian child. That is from the elementary educations, and elementary education is says English education was introduced, that was not understandable by the students. This is with regard to the elementary education. So, education was dealing to child's world's living world. So, education and its practicality, if you look, it's not linked, it's delinked. It doesn't have any relation with regard to education and practical life. Whatever we learned in schools and colleges, that was not practicable in day-to-day life. So, the system of education that was introduced by the Britishers were non-practical education, that was not practicable, that was not useful for the common people. So, that was another problem. So, students were confined to their classes, the students were only confined to the classes and they were given educations, they were not given any other curriculum, they were not developed, all round development was not there. So, because of this, the education was boring, it was not lively. School was like a factory, as in a factory, raw products goes in, raw materials goes in and it comes out with the finished products. All the products used to look similar, all the things that is being produced in a single factory was similar in nature. Likewise, education was also, all these children were given, it's not individual differences were looked after, they were given similar form of educations, and when they passed out from the university college, they used to they can't think of their own, they can't function on their own. So, that was the problem. So, education ignores our country's history and culture. Indian history, culture were not taught in those period in schools and colleges. So, that was the major drawback of this educational system. So, there was no development of child's mind in this system of education. Child's mind was not developed. So, different curricular activity that we practiced in our school were not there during those periods. So, those development of mind in child were not devised in the British colonial system of education. So, the education pattern that we have discussed were devised, as I have told in the first point itself, is for their own benefit. So, the educational pattern was bringing out what they required, that is only clerks and darogas. So, Indian could go up to only a daroga. So, clerks and darogas were produced from these institutions. So, this was the main colonial system of education, that were drawbacks of the colonial system of education. So, keeping in this mind, the great Gurudev, that is Rabindranath Tagore, he was of the opinion that what form of education should be there, what are the changes that we should bring about in our educational pattern. So, he was of the opinion that after the child's mental faculties were developed, only then he or she should be given the world education, the education of the world. That means a child should be if a child is given freedom to develop his own mental abilities, he should have his own mental abilities first. He should be able to think freely, he should be able to understand things, then only the English education should be given. So, he was of the opinion, he was not, Rabindranath Tagore was not against the English education, but he was of the opinion that if a child is given a basic freedom to understand what the education is, what a thing is of himself, then only a Western education should be, or English education should be given. Secondly, education should be such that it enables and promotes the students to think and evaluate. Same thing, that is, students should be able to think and evaluate the things of him by himself. So, education should be in such a manner. So, a student should be given a full freedom to think and evaluate. Thirdly, a child should learn through traditional methods in his mother tongue. So, he emphasized on mother tongue, because when a child grows up in his house, he starts talking in his mother tongue. So, mother tongue, a child should be given a primary education in a mother tongue. Once he developed the understanding of the world in his mother tongue, then the English education should be given. So, only then education will lead to all round development of thought. If a child is able to understand things, then only a child will be able to develop all round development. So, a child will not simply grow, but evolve as a competent man with an ideal character. So, with this educational pattern or with these ideals, a child will not only be a man, he will be a complete man with an ideal character, ideal citizen. So, this is Sri, you all might know, but still Sri Rabindranath Tagore, popularly known as Gurudev. Excuse me. He was born on 7th May 1861, died on 7th August 1941 at the age of 80. He received the Nobel Prize for in literature in the year 1913 for his poetic book Gitanjali. So, Rabindranath Tagore, as you all know, our national anthem Jana Gana Mana plus Bangladesh national anthem was written by him, and he also encouraged the national anthem of various other countries. So, regarding him, with regard to our Kalimpong, as we all know, Sri Rabindranath Tagore came to Gauripur house around 3 to 4 times in the year 1839, um, 1839, he recited his famous poem Janmodin on All India Radio from this Gauripur house. So, that is with regard to India, Kalimpong. So, next is our Shanti Niketan. So, Shanti Niketan, as we all know, it is in Bholpur, Bengal. So, Devendranath Tagore, his father, had a ashram. He set up a ashram in Bholpur and he named it as Shanti Niketan. And Rabindranath Tagore visited that visited Shanti Niketan in the year 1812. And Rabindranath Tagore established the institutions in 1901. So, 1901 he established the institution and it was originally known as Brahmacharya Ashram. 22nd December 1901 he established Brahmacharya Ashram and it was started just with 5 students. Now, it has evolved into a big school and the aim of the school was to ensure that the students are taught the importance of Indian heritage. They were taught that, plus to provide all round development of the students and to give a universal humanistic outlook. So, the school as Rabindranath Tagore was devised was devoid of any modern amenities. No fans were there, they were taught under the shade of a tree. So, it is close to he wanted students to feel the nature, feel the closeness to the nature. Then only one will learn better. So, next is Vishwa Bharati, that was established in 23rd December 1918 and first principal of this college was Vidushekar Bhattacharya. The idea of Vishwa Bharati, what was the idea is that entire world's knowledge should be combined in a single place. He wanted to have the different cultures in a single place, different cultures informations to be studied in a single place. So, Vishwa Bharati will be the home of students from all over the world. So, Vishwa Bharati, whole world. So, all these students from all over the world can come and acquire knowledge. It will be residence for the entire world's knowledgeable personalities who will congregate here to discuss and evaluate the knowledge. That is, because of this, many professors, eminent personalities were appointed from all around the world in the Vishwa Bharati. And curriculum would be such that countrymen will feel helping lives of countrymen more easy. That is, more easy means education should be linked with the person. That is, in the first slide itself we have seen that the education was delinked from the common people. So, in this he wanted to have education in such educational pattern of such nature that will be applicable to the common day to day life. That is, just for example, farming, day to day how farming should be done, wiring, electric works, road making, even simple household items, how they are being made. So, after education they should feel comfortable in the day to day life. So, that what was he was thinking all about. So, as I have told, he was not against the Western education, but he wanted to have both Indian as well as Western education assimilated. That is, assimilation of East and West. That is, Eastern education as well as the Western education should be come together. Then only a proper education should be developed. So, fusion of man, nature and education. So, according to Rabindranath Tagore, child nature is the ideal teacher. So, in the atmosphere in which a child is being child is grown, a child comes to an adulthood or a manhood, that evolves his nature. Child is like a tree. As we know, tree takes nutrients from its ground, through its roots, and roots are spread across quite a bit area. So, child is like a tree, it acquires knowledge from his environment. So, what is he is relating child and a tree is that as tree acquires its nutrients from its surrounding area, child also acquires knowledge from its surrounding area. So, surrounding area is very important with regard to education. So, educational institution should not be a dead cage. It should not be a cage in which like a cage in which the students are put in, they are fed with knowledge, and it should not be like. It should be, a child should think, evaluate of his own. So, a child should not be, education should not be like a cage. Handwork, arts, music, various other co-curricular activities should be encouraged in educational institutions. So, this was possible only in a Gurukul system. So, he was of the opinion that in a Gurukul system, traditional Gurukul system is an ideal place in which a child will have the fullest knowledge, that is simple living with his teacher, doing day to day activities as well as studying his curriculum. So, this that is why he formed the Shantiniketan, in which a Gurukul system of education should be devised. He was of the opinion that when the child is new at heart, he is untouched by any knowledge, and his mind is full of curiosity. During that period, when his senses are sharp, he was able to grasp all the things very quickly. That time he should be let in the environment. He should be allowed to play in sun, rain, dirt, not confined to a single room. So, then he will understand nature, education in a better manner. So, we come to the end of this topic, that is, we come to question answers. That is 2 marks, regarding 2 marks, only 2 questions are there. What was the objective of founding Vishwa Bharati? And second is, why was the colonial system of education defective? And secondly, 8 marks questions, give a brief description of Rabindranath Tagore's ideas on education and Shantiniketan. So, these are the few questions that were there in our previous Madhyamik examinations. So, kindly prepare this, and it is important for you for 2021 Madhyamik examination. So, as I have discussed, as I have informed you in my previous class, that we will be discussing in short about the Madhyamik, history Madhyamik question patterns. So, we will start with this class itself. First, we will this whole Madhyamik, if you will go through your Madhyamik question papers, is be divided into 5 sections, A, B, C, D, E. Today, we will be discussing about A, that is section A. So, section A, Madhyamik examination question patterns, that is multiple choice questions, MCQ questions. So, here we have shown in a table, with the help of a table, it is being shown that from chapter 1, how many multiple choice questions will be there, and multiple choice questions again carries only 1 marks. That is, a question will be there, you have to choose from the 4 options. So, from the 4 options you have to choose any one answer. So, that is multiple choice questions. So, regarding chapter 1, is chapters are there, and group A, that is MCQ, how many questions will be there. So, chapter 1, there will be 2 questions with regard to MCQ questions. So, only 2 questions will be from chapter 1. From chapter 2, likewise 1 into 3, that is 3 questions will be there. Chapter 3, 2, 4, chapter 4, 3 questions will be there. Chapter 5, 2 questions will be there. Chapter 6 and 7, 3 each, and chapter 8, 2 questions will be there. So, these are the multiple choice questions and the division in which the it will come in from your chapters. So, prepare accordingly, prepare, do not just read, concentrate multiple choice questions in one chapter itself. Try to learn multiple choice from all the chapters. Since you have seen there, the questions will come from all the chapters, not from a single chapter. So, you have to cover your whole chapter till chapter 8, you have to cover, you have to go thoroughly, And in multiple choice questions, there are many options for the question. For those who make questions, for them there are many options. They can choose from various topics. So, we can say that this question is important for this year and that is not important for that year. So, so what is there is that you have to prepare multiple choice questions from each chapters by going through your chapter thoroughly and underlining the important words, then you have to prepare. Once you the plus point of this multiple choice question is that you do not have to mug it up, you just have to read. Then you will, if you have gone through that question or an answer once, then you might recall by saying the 4 options. So, this is very easy, plus it is very easy to score full marks. That is, questions will be given, 20 questions will be given total. Out of the 20 questions, you have to answer 20 itself. So, total marks for group A is 20 marks itself. So, 20 questions will be there, you have to answer all the 20 questions. So, you can score 20 out of 20 if it is all right, if it is all correct. So, but if it is wrong, then you will get 0. God forbid that that situation will not come. 20, but you have to prepare for this multiple choice questions. So, prepare accordingly during your period when you are staying at home. So, prepare the questions, point out questions from your chapters and prepare accordingly. So, for today, with this I have come to end with the chapter 5. That is, chapter 5 is being covered in 3 episodes, first, second and third. Today is our 3rd episode or 3rd class, and in our next class we will be doing some other chapters, and I will come to you with the, we will be also discussing the Madhyamik question papers, that is group B. So, group A we have covered, next class we will be covering group B. So, today I would like to thank you everyone.